Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Gonzo Ewok channel. My name is Ewok.
And my name is Gonzo.
And we're about to play Geordie Space Program.
That was a little bit of a stunted intro, that one.
You thought it was a stunted intro? I just went for something a bit different.
No preamble, no foreplay. Where's the love?
Where's the love? The love is in the ass. The love is in the gameplay. The love is in the gameplay.
And the ass.
And the ass. We're back after our kind of failed mission that I'm insisting on calling a test mission because, you know, it sounds better than failed mission. We're going to try again to get to the mun and bring some science back from the mun. You alright with that?
Yes, I think so. We're recording this straight off the back of the last one. I think that was a bit of a crestfallen one. Unfortunately, I am still ill because only 15 seconds have passed for us in between episodes. So, last time, the solid rockets exploded and took out the engine.
They did. They took out this engine.
So your plan is to move these solids on the outside down a bit.
And that is the start and finish of my plan.
So that's it. So that's all of the iteration.
That's my iteration. That's what I've done to improve this rocket design.
Now, to me, because it looks as though the rockets are still kind of like more than halfway on the middle rocket, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but I do
those
believe this is going to be fine.
The rockets on the outside, when they fall, they're going to sort of tip back in on themselves, and I still think they might take out that middle bit.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So what we want to do
is, take them and push them down even more.
No, we want to balance them like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that wasn't the point I was trying to make, but that's a good point as well.
Because that way it won't... they'll drop straight down, and they shouldn't like bend it down.
If those ones on the outside were dangling down, it's going to pull them underneath the rocket. I mean, I still think that they're a little bit high up in any event. But, I mean, what can we do? Give it a go.
Best move that strut, because the strut's now in the wrong place. So I think this is a good iteration. Do you think we should undo? So you suggest that, I don't know, we move these down?
Yeah.
Well, the problem is if they're not sort of central on the decoupler, then they won't drop straight. I mean, they're fairly central there, so that should be okay. I mean, the last thing we want them to do is bend top inwards.
Yeah.
Because then they will hit the fuel tank.
Yeah.
If they are slightly above, then they'll bend bottom inwards. Yeah. I think.
Sort of split outwards.
I think. Is that right? Is that how physics works?
I don't know.
I'm not sure anymore.
I'm very ill and sleep deprived. I haven't got a clue. I don't have much of a clue when I'm on form.
I'll tell you what, I'm just going to leave it like that. We'll see what happens.
What are them bits on the outside? Look, there's the struts at the top, on the nipples. On the nipples at the top. Look.
Oh, they've just lost their connectors.
Yep.
And now
they're going to be rattling round.
Vanished forever.
God.
There we go. It's fine. It's all good.
I would like it. I mean, I've been watching like a few different bits and pieces of other people who know what they're doing playing Kerbal Space Programming.
Yeah, other people who know what they're doing. I mean, people like us. Other people who know what they're doing.
Other people than us who know what they're doing, and they design nice looking rockets.
This is a nice looking rocket. What's wrong with this rocket?
I mean,
okay. First of all, that's in the staging is completely wrong there. I mean, the solids are in there. Why have they moved?
Thank God you didn't hit the button.
If I hit the button, it would have just dropped onto the launch pad and everything would have blown up.
Ridiculously expensive.
So the staging completely screwed up there just by virtue of me moving those solid fuel boosters. So let's get those solid fuel boosters back into the first stage where they belong. Also that one into the first stage.
Sorry, I'm yawning again.
Okay, yeah, we're back to it. We're back to where we should be. I'm pretty sure that is all.
That looks right.
That is all present and correct. That's a very long rocket but you know what? It's too late. It's too late. We're launching with what we've got. That's the SpaceX way. That's why shuttles explode. Did you see the SpaceX footage?
What's happened with SpaceX?
They launched a rocket and it just blew up. big boom.
Oh yes, I did. I saw that. Luckily, there wasn't anybody on board that one, was it? It was like an automated,
it was
automated resupply thing.
It was it was a non-manned machine.
Aye.
But
they have got a somewhat of a habit of doing that. They do the most incredible things, and then sometimes stuff just explodes. A little bit like us, really, apart from the incredible things for us are at best lackluster.
yeah. So the angle's slightly off here.
And we're going at some speed, like...
Yeah, but the solids are about to go. We'll see if they hold up this time.
Fingers crossed. Oof! Separation.
And explosion.
It looks quite nice, you know, the rocket now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too shabby, even if I do say so myself. I'm going to take us up to an apoapse of around about 75,000 metres.
Cool.
And just let it coast from there. Plenty of fuel left. It's a nice long rocket,
it looks
which the ladies like.
It looks a bit like a nuke, you ask me. You know, quite long. Got them fins at the bottom. It's got a bit of a Cold War kind of look to it.
It looks a bit mean, doesn't it?
Aye, it's a nasty looking rocket. Wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that.
One of the things I did there...
The stars! Look at that, that was lovely.
To prevent the explosion that we encountered last time is that I turned the liquid fuel booster up to maximum. So we got as much distance in a short time, which I really should have done last time round, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, because this is a hand manoeuvre and I'm not relying on a manoeuvre node, I'm afraid I'm going to have to go to map view.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and make an effort of staying out of map view as much as we normally do, because it's not very entertaining viewing.
It's just lines.
Yeah. So when I've got my manoeuvre node on, what I'll do is I'll probably stay out of the map view and try and do the manoeuvre node a bit more by hand.
No, I think that's a good call, because people like to look at the rockets and people like to look at the planets, but look at the planets, I suppose, like more of an astronaut style view than anything else.
Yes, rather than that view. That view is so much nicer.
I mean, you could barely call we YouTubers, really, but it would be nice if we made a stab at being cameramen as well sometimes. I often think that.
Get some of the nice vistas and the nice views. I mean, that's a nice view. Look at that. Lovely.
It's the downside of the way we do it. I think what I like about this series is that we do things live. With very little planning. You sometimes have a bit of a prod around at the game to come up with an idea, but
in between episodes, but we don't do the whole...
Yeah, we're not scripted, we don't do lots of editing, we don't do post-commentary unless we break something when we're recording live.
Yeah, I think we've only done post-commentary once.
Once or twice, maybe. But the big downside of that, of course, it means that we can't do hours worth of editing where we get nice cinematic shots and stitch them all together.
And cut out the boring stuff.
Yeah.
It also means we've got to try and keep the inane banter like this going.
We'll manage.
We'll manage.
I mean, don't get us wrong, I'm certainly not firing on all cylinders. Which is, a bit of a shame. It would be alright if it was self-inflicted, but when you're ill. If I was hungover, I would be able to deal with it. But no, just ill. I hate being ill.
Okay, it looks like we've run out of fuel on that stage.
Well, we've got the Poodle, and that's a pretty fuel-efficient engine. Is it the Poodle? I always forget what it's called.
It's not the Poodle.
Engine.
The Poodle is the
tiny one with a big fairing.
Yeah, the Poodle is the smallest of the large engines. This is the smallest of the medium-sized engines.
The Wuss engine.
The Wuss engine.
909.
The
Terrier. I couldn't have taught you that.
Well, we've successfully made orbit.
It's not bad.
There's the Mun.
Yep.
Let's just get there, I suppose. No messing around.
You think we're going to be alright with the fuel and the little piddly engine to do that?
I think we will. We should do. I'm conscious that the design could be better. Let's be honest, we're carrying around an awful lot of weight that we don't really need to. That's a really weird intercept. I think I'm coming at it at the total wrong angle. There we go.
That's pretty good.
That's better.
I like that little bit Tokyo drift we've got going on. Just kick out the tail on the left. Aye, that's pretty good. That's still like a 1.5 minute burn.
We'll stick with that.
It's a fair old chunk, but it's because we're using this tiny little engine.
Well, I think we've got more than 1.5 minutes worth of fuel. We've got 2 fuel tanks on there. Let's just get to the burn point and see what happens here.
Now,
I mean, the best case scenario is we get into an orbit round it, do a few passes and pick up a load of science. the worst case scenario is we run out of fuel and die. The far more likely mid-case scenario where we don't have a great amount of fuel, we're just going to have to do one pass, not get into orbit, and bring it back and complete the mission that way.
Aye, now this is what I was going to ask. We've just got to be within its sphere of influence and grab science. We don't have to get in orbit.
Absolutely. But what I'd like to do is get into a low orbit and do a few passes so we can repeatedly hit that science bay.
Yeah, if we've got a scientist on board, keep cleaning it, keep bringing it back.
Bring back potentially hundreds of science points.
Aye, that would be nice. We could do them.
That's the ideal.
Yeah, I think this is it. The last 2 episodes really we've worked on gaining money. We've used that money to upgrade the facilities that we need and give ourselves a little bit of a cushion here. But now what we need to do is hit that science tree, start getting bigger and better rockets.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly why I thought this mission was the ideal mission to do.
Aye.
Because that orbital scavenging of science can be a real boost. I mean, we did it earlier in the series around Kerbin, where we went around Kerbin when we first got the orbit around Kerbin and just spammed that science bay, getting experiments over every biome, and that's exactly what I want to try and replicate on the Mun, only the returns will be like 4 times greater.
Aye.
And that'll get us legs like you want, ladders, potentially the large solid fuel boosters. I'll be honest, those mid-sized solid fuel boosters are kind of holding us back on the initial stages.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had to go with that horrible 2-tiered design.
Yeah,
if we had them, we could have just
a bunch of the big uns.
Yeah, we could have just stuck 4 of the big uns on, and that would have done the job. Fuel-wise, we're going to use less than half of the fuel, so
that's pretty good going. Aye.
It looks pretty good, and obviously once we're in the Mun sphere of influence, there's so much less gravity to hold us back that a little bit of fuel goes a long way. I told you this design would work. Bar the small explosion the first time large explosion the first time we tried it.
We saw, look, there's the sun. You can see the sun's just came out.
You can actually see them on there.
Yeah, that's quite nice. Shot, we're flying directly towards it. That's quite nice, that. Oh.
That is nice. And the little Coriolis on that's what you call it, isn't it?
Check your words. Corona.
Oh, Corona.
Coriolis is the way that water goes down your plug hole. That's something totally different.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I only know that from The Simpsons, though. The episode where
check it out. We got that bang on.
There's an episode where they go to Australia, and it's Bart calls Australia because he wants to find out that water goes the other way down the plug hole.
That's right, because it's the other side of the equator.
Aye, this is it. So that's the Coriolis effect. What we've just seen is a Corona, which is also a kind of beer.
It is, yeah.
Everything all ties together in Geordie's Space Programme.
Do you think there's like a connection there?
I'm going to invent beer called Coriola, and when you try and drink it, it just swirls around upside down in the bottle.
The opposite way from where you would expect.
Yeah, you try and pour it down, and it shoots up.
Okay, we're already getting some science data here, because we've never had a temperature report from out here. I think the other... Oh no, we've never had Mystery Goo here either.
That's not bad going. I'm really not fancying straddling Madeline's chances, though. I think she's going to end up flying off the rocket and getting lost.
Really? Why?
Well, it's just our luck, isn't it? You get out the rocket, and then you get the science, and then you're resetting the experiments, and then she'll try and grab onto the top, and it'll just ping her off somewhere.
I can't believe we've not got the high over Kerbin data yet. That's a real oversight from us, given that we've been here several times. Not in this exact spot.
Unless there's maybe some sort of glitch, but I don't think there is.
No, I think we've just neglected to get it every time we've been in the neighbourhood.
The problem with the amount of times we've rebooted the series is that
you kind of forget what you've done and what you haven't.
Just kind of blurs into one. Hey. Here we go, going. Now, is there any limit as to how much we can store in the capsule?
No.
That's pretty good going.
So we can just keep doing this for every area that we hit. And
the EVA propellant, from memory, if she gets back into the capsule, does she get more? Or is that just...
Yep, it restocks.
She can refuel. That's good.
Oh, I pressed the wrong thing. Take data, that's what I want. You might as well close the doors for us while you're out here.
Bouncing on the tip.
of the massive rocket.
Yeah. The even bigger rocket.
I wish you could rotate your Kerbins.
She always had grips on her shoes on the EVA suit. That's quite nice.
I can't say I've noticed before.
Yeah, I've never noticed that. They're like the grips that you had when you were in primary school. Like in novelty shoes.
I don't recall primary school.
See, this is what I was concerned about. It's effing miles away now.
It's not miles away. However, it was a little concerning. I mean, there's nothing blocking it.
No, it's just for some reason we've had this happen quite a few times where you just fly off the door when you try and grab it. The game doesn't like you being near it.
It's alright, if I get close enough I should be able to board without grabbing.
I didn't even know you could do that. I thought you had to grab first.
Is
that a fairly
not
recent
always.
edition?
No. So, yeah, that's quite a bit we've got there. So, we'll go a little further out here.
Aye, why not? There's no point in transmitting anything back, is there? Crew report, EVA report?
Actually, it'd be good to transmit the crew report back because we can only hold one crew report in the capsule. So if I review stored data, basically I'll transmit everything that we get 100% from, which is just the crew report. Oh, I thought you got 100% for temperature scans, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I guess not.
It's very odd. You'd think, I mean, a temperature is just a number, isn't it? 4. Alright, I'll write that down on the pad. I don't need to see the thermometer. If you say it's 4 degrees, I
kind of believe
for it. Aye. Alright.
There seem to be that's definitely facing the sun, but no, the electric charge is going up. That's good.
Aye. But again, that's one of those other bugs. Hopefully that's something that'll get fixed because that's a bit of a heartbreaker when it happens. Yeah.
Right, so now, where are we here if I were to do an experiment? We'll probably still be high above Kerbin, I would think, so it probably won't give us anything. Yeah, still high above Kerbin, so we're going to have to wait until we get into the Mund sphere of influence now before we do our next batch of science.
Here's an idea for you, Ewok, thinking about electricity in space. You know how we've got to use these like solar panels, or you've got to use thermal radiators and all this kind of business to generate power?
Yeah.
Why don't they just put one of them coin-operated meters on the rocket and then give them a bunch of like 20 pences?
I see what you're saying.
Because you get into the rocket, right, and you fly, and then you go, oh god, we're running out of electricity, and then you go and find the 20 pences, and you put a few in the meter, and then the electricity's back on. It works in a house, so why not in space?
I'm lost for words.
I've impressed you, haven't I?
Not really. Not really. I mean, you know that those things don't generate electricity. They're just...
In the house, you put money in, the electricity works. The telly's not on. What's going on, man? The telly's not working. I'll have to get me purse. And then you go and put the pennies in the meter, and then the TV's back on. Are you saying that's magic or something like that?
I'm saying that you use the meter to pay for electricity that has been generated by a traditional method, whether it being nuclear or fossil fuels.
A smart meter.
You don't use it to create the electricity. That's not quite how it works.
I'll work harder on the designs. I don't suppose Elon Musk will be interested anymore. No wonder he's not returning the phone calls.
Why can't I collect data from there?
You could.
There it is.
I just need to be near it. Cool. Experiment media removed.
To be honest, I didn't really pay attention as to whether or not we actually got any data from that, got any science from that. Whether we've done this experiment before or not. I just kind of set everything going and then went out and started collecting it, so it might all be worthless.
I think it's just because you're absolutely stunned with my new fantastic and revolutionary idea for space electricity.
Stunned is right. Not in a good way, though. And it's possible to be stunned by somebody's stupidity.
It's also possible to be stunned with a blow to the head. You ever consider that?
Observation post space high above Kerbin. Well, not space high above Kerbin. Why are you giving me high above Kerbin details?
It's because we're not in sphere of influence of Moon yet.
We are in the sphere of influence.
Are we?
Yeah, look.
Don't we have to get to that blue bit first?
I'm an idiot.
Aye,
I'm
get
an
the
idiot.
blue bit. Yeah, slowly.
Hang on, no, hang on. We don't. Right. We don't have a mun encounter properly here. We've sort of got an encounter. So where do I want to burn to? Where's the mun? Set the mun as my target. Where is it? This is a bit shit.
Are you just going to kind of burn towards it then? Here we are. Weird stuff's happening. One escape.
Oh, we're not in encounter yet. I'll get to encounter. Once I get to encounter, then I'll be able to sort of...
Bosh! There we are.
Let's have a go. It was fine. It just didn't have a mun at Wapsis there, which really threw me off.
Now what's that going to be? 20-second burn.
Now, bearing in mind we did a minute and a half and used like a quarter of a tank.
Well, we used 140 to get home to get out here. So maybe keep 140 back in case we need it.
Yeah, it takes much less to.
We're not going to hit the moon now.
No, we're gonna.
No, that's
we're gonna skim straight past it. What I'm doing is I'm just setting a manoeuvre as a reminder to stop at that point and then get some science data, which should be high above the mun. Where is the mun? It's got to be around here somewhere.
Lost it.
I mean, it's a big rocky thing. Anybody seen a big rocky thing around here? There it is.
There we are.
There it is.
It's right in front of it. Right. This orbital physics thing's an absolute doddle when you know what you're doing.
Oh yeah, I mean, all you have to do is like take your existing dimensions and sort of square them.
Yeah.
And then go, yeah, that's fine. I'll just work in an environment where up and down are meaningless concepts.
It's just lines, isn't it? Lines and speed.
Lines and speed, yeah.
Yeah. All it is.
Sounds like a party, doesn't it? Lines of speed.
Lines of speed. Down the quayside. Okay.
Okay, right. We're getting all this sexy high over the mun data.
Nice. Get a crew report, send it back so we've done the contract and we don't have to worry about anything else apart from fat loot.
That's a good plan, mate. So we'll transmit the crew contract, the crew report.
I do like the way that thing folds out like that.
It is sexy. It's the only reason I use that one over the other one.
Yeah.
Because it's just really, really pretty.
I like the little circular one that looks like a tin of dog food and then it comes out like a little mini satellite dish as well. That one would look perfectly on a 1950s style flying saucer. It's got that kind of feel like Mars Attack style. Be perfect. Okay.
Looks like our goo canisters around the other side.
That's some fast finger weight you got going on.
Well, you know, I have done this over 4 times.
Well practiced. Sort of. Get all the things.
I mean, even if we bring this back, we've got quite a lot of science on board. But we can go so much further.
This isn't the first time we've done like a spacewalk, is it? We have done spacewalks.
Yeah. We brought science back from around Kerbin orbit.
My brains are absolutely scrambled.
We did loads of science around Kerbin orbit. Okay, so we've got a manoeuvre node coming up in 26 minutes.
Now, the last episode was a little bit shorter. This one's probably already longer than that and probably going to go on for some time, I'd imagine.
Well, what I'll do is I'm going to get us into orbit and then I'm afraid it's going to have to be a comeback for part 2 to get the rest of the show.
Two-parter, you unlucky people. Gutted. Shouldn't really shout gutted at my fan, should I?
But you know what, we've done much better camera work this time round. I mean, look at that. That is a beautiful ball of featureless rock. Well, actually, it's not featureless. It's got all those wonderful crater scars in it that are very sexy looking.
Have we ever looked at the anomalies on the moon? I think we had a look at the arch, didn't we?
We didn't go like right the way up to the arch, but we saw the arch.
We were quite close to it just by a fluke one time.
And I did I don't think I did a short, but I think I posted up some footage of a mun hole that I found. If you remember that, and that'll be buried on our YouTube channel, Facebook channel somewhere. I got I called it the pole hole, because I found a hole near the pole of the mun. In fact, I found several holes near the poles of the mun, and I took Jeb down into one of them, and he got sort of stuck in the bottom. Weird, like physics glitch. He was bouncing around and. That was pretty cool.
Famously, I think the biggest example of that's on Moho.
Which they call the Moor Hole.
Yeah, that is quite deep.
Not as good as the Pole Hole.
Pole Hole is pretty good going.
Because it's got that kind of rude sound to it.
It certainly does. Certainly does if you're Polish.
I suppose that's true.
Yeah. Everybody holes. It's a well-known saying.
You know what? This could be, with a little bit of adjustment, we could get a sort of polar.
I was going to say, you're not far off polar here, really. But I mean, let's not get crazy. We still need fuel to go home.
We've got loads. See, look at
that. It cost about 140-ish to get out here.
You keep saying that, but there's no relation to what it costs to get out here to what it costs to get back.
So if I'd get in my car and drive to Dundee and I use 20 litres of petrol, you're going to say, when I'm on my way back home, it's only going to use 15 litres.
That's not the same.
It is the same.
It's not the same.
Petrol.
You're thinking purely in movement around Earth.
Petrol. Petrol is a thing. I put 20 quid worth of petrol
Gravity.
in the car.
Gravity is a thing, right?
To Sheffield.
Gravity is a thing. You acknowledge that. So when we're trying to go from Kirben to the Mun, the gravity of Kirben is pulling us, and we're pushing against that gravity. And there's a lot of gravity. We get to the Mun, there's hardly any gravity. It's like you trying to run while Vin Diesel is trying to hold you back, compared to you trying to run while a toddler is trying to hold you back.
I don't like this situation with Vin Diesel trying to hold us down. What's he planning? Making us feel deeply uncomfortable. Stop. Stranger
Stop,
danger, Vin Diesel. Stop. I just want to run. What's wrong with you? Big manly arms. Get them off us. Right, we need to stop this. I'll have a panic attack.
You'll have nightmares about Vin Diesel trying to molest you.
Yeah. For the record, we should just point out this is going out into a public forum. Vin Diesel has not molested us or indicated that he wants to.
Oh yes,
I'm
of
sure
course.
things are
and
fine.
there's been all that kerfuffle about YouTube saying that you can't monetize videos that are unsavoury and stuff like that. So. Like, you're not supposed to swear, and
not supposed to say Vin Diesel molested.
You're not supposed to, and if you do swear, you can't monetize the video. So it's, just in case we ever do get big and famous, just in case this video gets 1 million hits, I just want to say, fuck Knuckle Cocknose.
That's pretty good.
So now even if this video goes viral, we can't monetize it.
I don't think it works in that sense. It's something, as it transpires, I think there was a lot of reactionary stuff. YouTube's always kind of had that policy saying if you've made something unpleasant, there's a chance that will not monetize it.
So we couldn't monetize any of our videos,
of course not, no.
Because they're all just unpleasant by nature.
No, but
look at us whizzing around the moon. We're gonna have to wrap up, pal. I think we're pretty much done.
Just when we're going to talk about something important rather than going to Dundee or space electricity, going to talk about something important that affects YouTube.
Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and join us in the next episode where we probably won't continue this conversation. We'll go back to mundanity,
abortions,
but we'll wrap this mission up. We'll see if we can get that science back.
Child murder.
It'll be brilliant if we can. It'll be devastating if we can't.
Penile cancer.
Thank you for watching and goodbye.